Good morning, students. I hope you are all well. Today we are going to complete the chapter number 6. We are going to complete it with this question. This is a subjective question. After that, I will discuss some objective questions with you. Okay. So let us start with it. This is the question. This is the type of question that we have discussed earlier. In our exercise 6.2, there was question number 6 in which we have two mills. Let me refresh your memory by showing you the question. This was the question. This is question number 6 of exercise 6.2. We did it. Okay. Let me take the diagram somewhere. Okay. This was the diagram of this question, and what we did was we had a pair of parallel mirrors. There was a incident ray and a finally reflected ray. This was the incident ray, this was finally reflected ray, and we were supposed to prove that these two rays were parallel. So what we did was, we proved that the pair of alternate interior angles for these two rays are equal. That means the lines are parallel. Okay. So we use the properties of parallel lines. In order to prove that incident ray as well as reflected ray are both equal, parallel. So incident ray and reflected ray were both parallel. Okay. In this manner, this time we have again two mirrors, but the position of the mirror, the placement of the mirror is different from what we have then. The placement of mirror is such that both the mirror are perpendicular to each other. First of all, let me write down M and N. OM. Let's take this point M. Let this make this point N. OM is perpendicular to OM. Okay. That means this angle is 90 degree. Okay. So first of all, what is given to us, that both the mirrors are perpendicular to each other, and once again, like we had in that question, CA is the incident ray and BD is the final reflected ray. BD is final reflected ray. BD is final reflected. Okay. So now like we did in that question, what we have to construct, we have to draw normal to the point of reflection. We have to draw two normals on both the points of reflection. Okay. AD is reflected ray for point A, AB is reflected ray so for point A, and AB is incident ray for point B. Okay. Fine. So CA is the incident ray, BD is final reflected ray. Okay. We have to prove that both CA and BD are parallel to each other. Line CA is parallel to BD, or we can say DB. Okay. In this diagram, the construction part is already given to us. The construction is included in the figure. The normals AP and PB. Let me write down in given as well. Second given was BD was final reflected ray. And BP is normal at point P. AP and BP are normals at points A and B respectively. Okay. We don't have to do construction here because construction is already given in the figure. Next we have to write down two proof. What do we have to prove here? We have to prove that initial incident ray and final reflected ray are both parallel to each other. So as we have discussed earlier, in order to prove any two lines as parallel lines, any pair of line as parallel lines, what we have is we prove either of the three things. First of all, we can prove that the pair of alternate interior angles are equal, therefore lines will be parallel. Or we can prove that pair of corresponding angles are equal, then lines will be parallel. Or we can say finally that the pair of corresponding co-interior angles are equal. In that case also the lines will be parallel. So we have just these three means to prove that lines given to us are parallel or not. Okay, so we are going to use one of these means in order to prove what we have now. And once again, keep in mind the angle of reflection and angle of incidence are same. That means in the figure at point A, angle 1 and 2 are same to each other. Angle 1 is angle of incidence, angle 2 is angle of reflection. In the same manner at point B, angle 3 and 4 are equal to each other. Angle 3 is angle of incidence for point B and angle 4 is angle of reflection for point B. So we'll start with proof then. Keep in mind, I am not writing down any construction because construction is given in the diagram as well. Now we'll start with the proof. Okay, in this proof, first of all, what I'm going to prove is, I'm going to prove that APBO, this quadrilateral APBO is a rectangle. In quadrilateral APBO, in this quadrilateral, angle O is equals to 90 degree. Why? Because OM is perpendicular to OM. Then angle PAO, that is this angle is also 90 degree. Why so? Because AP is normal. Okay, in the same manner we have different things also. Angle PBO is also equal to 90 degree. Same reason, BP is also normal. Okay, in this manner, three angles of this quadrilateral are 90 degree. These three angles are in this quadrilateral are 90 degree. So we can say that angle P is also 90 degree. Why? All other angles in this quadrilateral, all three angles in this quadrilateral are 90 degrees. So the remaining angle of this quadrilateral is also 90 degree. Okay, in that way APBO is a rectangle. Okay, now with angle P as 90 degree, with getting angle P as 90 degree, I am going to move to the triangle BPA. Now moving on, in triangle BPA, I am moving on into the triangle BPA. Let me remake the figure. This is B point, this is P point, this is A point, and this is 90 degree. Okay, so what I am focusing, I am going to derive the sum of these two angles. In triangle BPA, sum of all three angles is 180 degree. By angle sum property, we can say that angle P plus angle PAB plus angle PBA is equals to 180 degree. Sum of all three angles is going to be 180 degree. Now we already know the value of angle P, that is 90 degree. So angle PAB plus angle PBA should be equal to 90 degree. Okay, or multiplying the above equation by 2, twice of angle PAB plus twice of angle PBA is equals to 180 degree. Let me write down it as equation number 1. Okay, now what we are going to discuss is, see, I have figured out that twice of this angle 2 and twice of angle 3 are both 90 degree. The sum of twice of angle 2 and twice of angle 3 is both 180 degree. Okay, so now we will move on with the question. How so? Now we will prove that twice of angle PAB is this angle and twice of angle PBA is this angle. So let's start. At point A, let me write down a theory first. As we know that at angle of reflection, at point of reflection, angle of incidence and angle of reflection are same. Angle of incidence and angle of reflection are same. Okay, or you can say are exactly equal. You can also write down same as well. It means same. Okay, that means at point A, what is happening at point A? Angle 1, that is angle CAP, is equals to angle PAB. Angle 1 and 2 are equal, or you can say angle CAB is twice angle PAB. If I add these two x, this total angle becomes 2x. So this is equation number 2. Similarly, we are going to say point B, angle, this is DBA should be equal to twice of angle PBA. Now what we are going to use? We are going to use equation number 2 and equation number 3 and equation number 1. Using 2 and 3 in equation 1, we get, हमको क्या मिलता है ऐसा करने से? हमको हमारा फाइनल आंसर मिल जाता है ऐसा करने से. We get angle CAB. Instead of twice of PAB, we write angle CAB. Plus, instead of twice of PBA, we write angle DBA. is equals to 180 degree. So what we have proved till now is, we have proved that the sum of this angle B and the sum and this angle A, the sum of complete angle B and complete angle A is equals to 180 degree. That means these are pair of supplementary angles. Let me remake the diagram for you for better understanding. We have proved that for two lines, and this is the transversal, sum of these two angles is 180 degree. That means the pair of co-interior angles are supplementary. The pair of co-interior angles are supplementary. That means lines, these lines, one line was CA, another was DB, are parallel to each other because pair of angles are supplementary. Okay. So in this manner we have done this question. Now let's start with some objective questions. Okay. Let's take question number 1. Question number 1 is, in this given figure we have to determine the value of angle R. Okay. So in order to find out the value of angle R, I will divide angle R into two parts. One is this part and another one is this part. So first of all, these two are pair of alternate interior angle. Once again, these are objective types of question. I am not going to write full solution. I am just going to point out which is the correct answer along with some little bit of solutions. These two are pair of alternate interior angle. That means this angle is also 25 degree. Okay. Secondly, this angle and this angle are both, secondly what we need to do is, we need to extend PQ further, and in this manner we can say that this angle and this angle are both, this angle and this angle are both 60 degree, and its adjacent angle will be 180 minus 60, that will be 120 degree. Okay. Now this angle R and this angle R will both be equal. Why so? Because these are both pair of parallel lines. So this is 120, so this is also 120 degree. This angle was counted as 25 degree, this angle is 120 degree, the answer is 145 degree. Okay. Some of you might get the answer 85 degree, but that is wrong. Next is question number 2. In question number 2, one of the angles of the triangle is equal to the sum of other two angles. Then the triangle is. There is only one such triangle in which one angle is equal to sum of other two angles of the triangle. That is right angle triangle. Okay. Question number 3. An exterior angle of a triangle is 105 degree. There is a triangle such that one of its exterior angle is 105 degree. And two of its interior opposite angles, these two angles are equal. This is x, this is also x. So we have x plus x is equal to 105. 2x is equal to 105. X will be equal to 2 5s are 10, 2 2s are 4, 52.5 degree. Okay. Why so? Because exterior angle theorem. We have applied exterior angle theorem here. Next is question number 4. The angles of a triangle are in the ratio this. So we have a triangle whose angles are 5x, 3x and 7x. Okay. So what we do is, we find out the sum of all these three angles is equals to 90 degree. 3x plus 5x plus 7x should be equal to 180 degree. Why? Because it is sum of all the interior angle is 180 degree. So 3x plus 5x plus 7x is 15x is equals to 180 degree. You simplify it, 3 5s are 15, 3 6 are 18, 60 and 5 12. So value of x is 12, and you have to determine whether it is an acute angle, obtuse angle, right angle and isosceles triangle. So it is not an isosceles triangle because none of the two ratios are same, and it is not a right angle triangle because none of the angle is 90 degree. 90 does not come in the table of 12. Okay, that is why none of the angle is right angle. It can either be an obtuse angle triangle or an acute angle triangle. So how I'm going to identify it. One way is multiply 3 with x, 5 with x and 7 with x and see whether if any angle is obtuse angle or not. Or another way is you can multiply the highest ratio with 12, that is 7x. 7 2s are 14, 7 1s are 7, 8. 84 is an angle that is less than 90 degree. 84 is an angle that is less than 90 degree. That means all other two angles are also going to be less than 90 degree. So therefore it is an acute angle triangle. Next is question number 5. If one of the angles of a triangle is 130 degree, one of the angles of the triangle is 130 degree, then the triangle between the bisectors of other two triangles can be. We have a triangle whose one angle is 130 degree. Then the angle between the bisectors of other two triangles, what can it be? It will be twice of 130. Let's see how. This angle is 130 degree. These are the bisectors. Okay. Let me make a bigger diagram, proper diagram. This is the base. And these are the bisector angles. Okay. Now we are given that the value of this angle is 130 degree. Okay. That means the sum of other two angles will be 180 minus 130 is equals to 50 degree. Now half of 50 degree, this is, I suppose this angle, complete angle is x and this complete angle is y. We are given that x plus y is equals to 50 degree. We have derived that. Now this angle is what? Half of x. This angle is what? Half of y. So sum of half of x and y will be half of 50, that will be 25 degree. So what we have derived till now, is that sum of these two angles is 25 degree. If we know the sum of two angles of a triangle, we can easily determine the value of other angle. So 180 minus 25 will be 155 degree. That will be the third angle of this triangle. Next is question number 6. In question number 6 we have, let me erase that so that we can easily get the question. What do we have in question number 6? It is POQ is a line, POQ is a straight line, and we have one angle 40, one angle 4x, one angle 3x. We have to determine the value of x. This is quite simple. We apply the linear pair, 40 plus 4x plus 3x is equals to 180 degree. That means 7x should be equal to 140 degree and value of x is equals to 20. So value of x is 20. Let's see next question. These are last pair of questions for today. From tomorrow we are going to start next chapter, that is chapter number 7. This is question number 7. This is part of your NCERT. You have to determine the value of angle Q. You can easily determine the value of angle Q by doing this. 130 plus 110 minus 180. This will be 240 minus 180, that will be 60 degree. Okay, this is also a question of NCERT. You can check the solution there. This is a different way to solving the same question. Okay, 130 is this angle, 110 is this angle, and what I have done is I have taken the sum of I have taken the property of linear pair. You can also do it as we have done in the NCERT. Okay, This is question of NCERT, that is why I have done it directly. Question number 8 is the angles of a triangle in the ratio 2, 3, 4. Again, you have a triangle in which the angles are 2x, 3x and 4x. You have to determine the value of smallest angle, means you have to determine the value of 2x. So first of all, you will write that 2x, 4x and 3x are all sum into 180 degree. 2 plus 4, 6, 6 plus 4, 9, 9x is equals to 180 degree. That means value of x will be equal to 20, and you have to determine the value of 2x. 2 into 20 is 40. You have answer as 40. Okay, so these were some of the MCQs for you. Once again, you have to do all these MCQs in your homework copy. Okay, MCQs are to be done in your homework copy. Sorry for not reminding that you earlier, but MCQs are to be done in your homework copy along with their questions. You have to write down questions and then the correct answer. No need to write down the solution, but do write the correct answers. Okay, so thank you for your time. Have a nice day.